Deep in an abandoned library covered in dust and forgotten books, I discovered something incredible. A mysterious egg sitting on an ancient desk, glowing faintly with purple psychic energy. The egg was small and smooth, with swirling patterns that seemed to shift. Every few minutes, it pulsed with a soft lavender glow. I carefully wrapped the egg in a soft blanket and carried it everywhere, keeping it warm. After 3 days of constant care and walking, the egg finally hatched. Out came the tiniest Espurr I'd ever seen. Just a few inches tall, this psychic kitten looked up at me with enormous, completely blank eyes. Its oversized ears twitched constantly, and I could see faint purple psychic energy leaking from them uncontrollably. It couldn't even walk straight yet. The baby Espurr took its first wobbly steps, immediately tripping over its own paws. Every time its emotions spiked even slightly, psychic energy would burst from its ears, knocking over small objects nearby. It had no control yet. After burning through its initial energy, the baby Espurr curled up and fell asleep almost instantly. I placed it gently in a small cushioned box with a soft towel. While it napped, I decided to build Espurr a proper habitat inside a large glass terrarium. This psychic type needed 3 specialized zones: a meditation garden with crystals to help it focus its chaotic psychic energy, a training area with floating platforms and psychic orbs, and a cozy library corner filled with miniature books and soft cushions for rest. I arranged several large amethyst crystals in a circle on white sand, adding a small fountain that glowed purple. For the training area, I installed floating platforms that hover at different heights and added psychic training orbs that Espurr would need to move with its mind. Finally, the library corner got tiny books, a reading lamp, and even a small telescope for stargazing. With all 3 zones complete, the habitat was ready. I gently picked up the sleeping Espurr and carefully placed it in the meditation garden. It woke up slowly, blinking those massive eyes and looking around at its new home for the first time. Espurr cautiously explored the meditation garden first, walking between the crystals. When it got close to one, the crystal glowed brighter, and for a moment, the psychic energy leaking from its ears stabilized. It looked surprised, probably the first time it felt any control. Then its curiosity got the better of it, and it wandered toward the training area with the floating platforms. Espurr stared up at the lowest floating platform, then crouched down and jumped, almost making it. Tiny paws just missed the edge, and it tumbled back down onto the soft moss, completely unharmed but looking frustrated with its ears flat against its head. Not giving up, Espurr tried again. This time, as it jumped, I saw its eyes glow bright purple. Instinctively, it used psychic energy to boost itself higher and successfully landed on the platform. It looked down at me, and I swear it was proud of itself. Espurr then jumped from platform to platform, each time using small bursts of psychic energy to help itself. After reaching the highest platform, it sat down to rest, panting slightly but looking satisfied. After resting, Espurr noticed the library corner and carefully climbed down. It padded over to the cozy reading area and investigated the tiny books, sniffing them curiously before settling down on the soft purple cushion. I decided it was time to see what Espurr likes to eat. I gathered berries, fish, vegetables, and special Pokemon food pellets. Espurr immediately went for the blue oran berries, picking one up in its tiny paws and biting into it. Juice ran down its chin as it chewed, eyes closing in satisfaction. These were definitely its favorite. I offered more varieties throughout the day. It enjoyed the fish but made a disgusted face at the vegetables. The Pokemon pellets were acceptable, but nothing compared to those oran berries. With a full belly, Espurr returned to the meditation garden and started practicing with the crystals on its own. I watched as it sat in the center, closed its eyes, and focused. The psychic energy from its ears became more controlled, flowing smoothly into the surrounding crystals. Suddenly, Espurr's eyes snapped open, glowing bright purple. All 7 crystals lifted off the ground simultaneously, floating in a perfect circle around it. It held them there for 5 seconds before they gently settled back down. Espurr looked exhausted but amazed at what it had just accomplished. That was incredible progress for just the first day. Espurr stumbled over to the library corner and collapsed onto the cushion, falling asleep instantly. Morning arrived and Espurr woke up refreshed and ready. But today wouldn't just be habitat training, it was time for its first real battle. I was taking it outside to find a wild Pokemon to fight. We didn't have to search long. A wild Rattata emerged from the bushes, aggressive and territorial. It sized up the tiny Espurr with its beady red eyes. This was it, Espurr's first real battle. The Rattata lunged first, moving fast. Espurr barely dodged, stumbling sideways. The Rattata was relentless. Espurr tried to fight back, its eyes glowing purple as it attempted to use confusion, but the psychic blast went wide, hitting a tree instead. Rattata charged again, this time landing a tackle that sent Espurr tumbling backward. The small psychic Pokemon struggled to stand, shaking its head. But then something changed. Espurr's blank expression turned focused. Its ears stood completely straight. The crystals from the meditation garden taught it something important: focus. This time when Rattata attacked, Espurr was ready. Its eyes blazed purple, and it unleashed confusion, a direct hit. The Rattata was lifted off the ground, held in psychic energy, spinning in the air before being slammed down. The wild Pokemon struggled to get up, but couldn't. Espurr had won its first battle. Over the next few weeks, I took Espurr out for daily training battles. Each day it grew stronger, more controlled. Today we encountered a wild Hoot perched in a tree, watching us with its single red eye. The owl Pokemon hooted a challenge. Hoot used Peck, diving fast, but Espurr was ready this time. It sidestepped smoothly and countered with confusion, catching the owl mid-flight. Hoot struggled in the psychic grip, spinning helplessly before Espurr released it gently to the ground. The owl retreated, defeated but unharmed. Days later, while exploring a cave system for training, we encountered something more dangerous: a wild Zubat colony. One particularly aggressive Zubat swooped down, screeching. Its supersonic attack would be dangerous if it hit. This would be Espurr's toughest battle yet. Espurr struggled against the supersonic waves, but then it remembered the meditation training. It closed its eyes, blocking out the noise, and focused inward. When it opened them, both eyes blazed with purple light. It unleashed the strongest confusion yet, creating a psychic shockwave that blasted the Zubat backward into the cave wall. The Zubat collapsed, knocked out. The entire colony fled in fear. Back home, Espurr's behavior started changing. Its psychic power was growing too fast, leaking constantly now. Objects in the house would float randomly. At night, I would hear things crashing as Espurr accidentally moved furniture in its sleep. It needed stronger training. We needed to find truly powerful opponents. I heard rumors of a Drowsy that had been causing trouble in the nearby town, putting people to sleep and stealing their dreams. This psychic type would be the perfect opponent. We headed into town at dusk to find it. Drowsy attacked first with hypnosis, its eyes glowing as sleep-inducing waves emanated. Espurr fought to stay awake, its own eyes glowing purple to counter. The two psychic energies clashed mid-air, creating visible distortions. This was a battle of pure mental power. Espurr was losing ground. Drowsy was older, more experienced. The sleep waves were getting through, and Espurr's eyes started drooping. But just as it was about to fall asleep, something inside it snapped. Its body began glowing bright white, enveloped in blinding evolutionary light. This was it. Espurr was evolving. The light faded, and standing there was no longer a tiny Espurr, but a fully evolved male Meowstic, taller, sleeker, with folded ears revealing bright cyan patterns. Its yellow eyes burned with focused intelligence and controlled power. The uncontrollable psychic energy was now perfectly contained. With a single focused thought, its ears glowed brilliant cyan, and it unleashed psychic, far more powerful than any confusion it used as Espurr. I ran up to Meowstic, amazed at the transformation. It looked at me with those intelligent yellow eyes, still the same Pokemon I raised from an egg, but now fully grown and in complete control of its abilities. It walked over calmly and rubbed against my leg affectionately. Evolution didn't change its gentle nature.